Blessings, 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 everyone. Oh, Jesus. The word I heard today was lawlessness. I just seen a video where this young lady was talking about Tiffany Montgomery's The Year of the Bride. She was talking about how it's a scam. And I want to speak on this because many of us don't know that we're coming up against God. Many of us don't understand the ways of God and what God has given the prophet or what he's entrusted in the prophet. This is why God says, separate the wheat from the tare, and many will have, the ones that do know God and hear God, that they will have eyes to see and ears to hear. And that's because everybody is not going to be able to understand what God is trying to do. When God gave Tiffany Montgomery the Year of the Bride, that's because God was ready to give Tiffany a spouse. So when God gives the prophet a word, she is sent to release it. This is her sounding the alarm. So what was for her is for the others. This is why you receive a prophet's reward. So many people came to get on that the Year of the Bride challenge, and that's because many people were ready and many people just wanted it, just because they want a spouse. You have to be in alignment. You have to be in order. You have to be healed. You have to be delivered. You have to be prepared and ready. That means God has to trust you with his spouse before he gives it to you. Just because you got on her challenge does not mean you were supposed to get a spouse. If you had stayed on that challenge, I don't know what all God gave her, but I don't know if she was teaching people how to become a wife. I don't know what the Year of the Bride was about, but I know God was ready to give her a spouse. So that means people were going to attract to her and connect to her based upon if they were ready for a spouse or if they felt like they weren't ready and God was saying that they were ready. So people were going to gravitate to her because most people want a man and most people want a wife. Many people were going to see God because of this. That does not mean just because you got on and you was going to get one. She's not a Houdini. God does things decent and in order. It's just like Apostle Leroy Thompson. God gave him money, is coming to him now. God gave that man that. That does not mean just because you were a part of what he was doing, money was going to come to you too. There's a process for money to come to you. There was a process for the Year of the Bride. And it's just like God gave me riding the wave. Many people who were on riding the wave last year, many people seen God perform miracle signs and wonders. They seen God open doors that they could not have opened on their own, and they did not see him open until they came on the wave. Many people who see the wave, they're going to say it's a scam. They're going to say, oh, it's all about money. I just want some money. And it has nothing to do with money. And this is why a lot of people miss getting their spouse from the Year of the Bride challenge. This is why a lot of people miss their finances when God was giving it to Leroy Thompson. Money is coming to him now. This is why many people miss God on the wave because they think it's about money and it's not about that. This is not for everybody, but those who have eyes to see and ears to hear are going to hear and see God. And this is why it only works for certain people. This is why certain people only see God doing these challenges that he gives us. The Year of the Bride, she didn't tell you to pay for anything. Some people were led to sow. This was just her teaching you every day, preparing you to be a wife. Now, some of y'all want to be a wife, but you don't want to go through the process of becoming a wife. Many of you people are speaking on the word of God. Y'all speaking on these prophets. This is why it says, whatever you give a prophet, you shall receive a prophet's reward. This in scripture. This is why when God gave her the Year of the Bride, that if you was in alignment, you were going to receive a prophet's reward. All you had to do was do what she was telling you to do for the whole year. When I came for the wave, all y'all had to do was do what I was telling y'all to do on the wave. It's receiving a prophet's reward. The fact that we got so many people coming on here for clout, coming on here for views and for likes, for shares, they're misleading God's people. You all are about to fall. See, this is supposed to be about the church, but this is about the people who have lawlessness, the people misleading, the people who don't know right from wrong, who are searching for righteousness, who are searching for God's way. And y'all misleading them, telling stuff is a scam because you don't understand it. She didn't say pay for something to get your husband. I didn't tell you to pay for a miracle sign and wonder. God told me, he said, I want to show the people how to get their finances from the kingdom, from me, from heaven, by sowing and reaping. And all we had to do every day was sow every day for 30 days, for the rest of our life. For some of us, it's a lifestyle. Some people just came to get something. And I want to read this scripture about lawlessness because this is what's happening. A lot of you content creators are about to fall as well because you misleading God's people. You got the church misleading God's people, the pharaohs who not teaching them right, who not training them, who got them sitting in pulpits watching them walk in purpose while they never walk in purpose. And then you got another group of people who just here trying to make money, misleading people as well. Stirring them farther away from God, making them believe that they can't get a spouse, making them believe they're not supposed to sow and tithe, making them believe that they're not supposed to have wealth, that they're supposed to be in poverty and lack and broke. How easy we rather have riches and wealth in the spirit realm, but we don't want it to manifest naturally. That makes no sense. Why would he allow us to have it spiritually if he's not going to give it naturally? You are a spirit being, and because you are a spirit being, you have a fleshly body. It manifested naturally. Make it make sense. Lawlessness. This is the spirit that's lurking across the land right now. This is why we're seeing the riots. This is why we're seeing all the false protesting, acting like that. You know, people really love somebody, but all it is just coming up against what Donald Trump is doing right now. Lawlessness refers to a state of being without or in violation of God's law and commandments, often associated with sin and rebellion against divine authority. So what a lot of you all are doing, content creators and leaders, y'all have just unleashed lawlessness because y'all speaking against what God is releasing over the earth. If God was ready to give everybody a spouse who he thought was ready, just because you think you ready don't mean God think you ready. So when she did the year of the bride, baby, that wasn't for everybody. That was for some. And for those who wanted one and didn't know if they could get one, all they had to do was do everything she said do. They was going to reap a prophet's reward. That's how you able to discern a real prophet. Do you reap the benefit of that prophet? Because you're supposed to reap their reward. The reward is whatever God gives them, you're supposed to be able to have it. The reward is whatever God gives them, you can have it. That's why I can sit here and say, oh, my credit ain't good, but God's still gonna give me this. And then you got people in my ministry who credit ain't good and God's still opening doors for them because they're reaping my reward. See, this is how you discern a real prophet. Can you receive what they're getting? Or are they the only ones reaping the benefits? Are their friends the only one reaping the benefits? No, the members should be reaping what the prophet is reaping. That's how you discern a real prophet. It's a prophet's reward that comes with it. You all are missing the signs that God has put in the Bible. That's why I cannot stand people who sit and quote scriptures all day. You quote scriptures all day, but you still lack discernment. You still missing it. We got leaders that lack discernment. We got leaders that can't even discern who a real prophet or not. They're going back and forth on this app talking about who a false prophet and who not a false prophet. Baby, y'all lacking discernment. Those are fruits of the Spirit. Gifts of the Spirit. We lacking these things, but we around here leading people astray. Y'all got millions of people following y'all, but y'all lack discernment. That's self-awareness. It's called game in the streets. So if God gave her the fast for the spouses, the bride, whatever it was, he gave it to her. It wasn't for everybody, it was for some. He said those who have eyes to see and ears to hear. That's why you got testimonies of people saying it happened. Just because there's more people who didn't get one versus least people who did get one does not mean it's not of God. Remember, many were called but few were chosen. Y'all want stuff, but you don't know how to become what you want. God not going to give you what you're not willing to give him. He not sending you no spouse and you double-minded. He not sending you no spouse and you selfish and you inconsiderate. He not sending you no spouse and you put your family and your kids before a man or a woman. You going to have to be, your man and your husband and your wife come before your family. And if you have a problem cutting your family off, this is why you did not get your spouse. If your heart is not right, if you cannot forgive people, this is why you did not get your spouse on the year of the bride. Their challenge. Woe to you leaders, to you content creators who misleading God's people, causing lawlessness, coming up against God's judgment, God's commandments, God's ways, God's righteousness, God's laws. Y'all speaking against stuff that you don't understand. You misleading the people. And this is why a lot of people don't reap the benefit. This is why a lot of people in my ministry did not stay. This is why a lot of people do not see the miracle signs and wonders, because they don't have what it takes to stand. They don't have what it takes to go through the process. It's so simple. All you had to do was fast and listen to whatever. That's all she did. She was the example to show you that it worked. She got her spouse. That means it worked. That's the sign. Some of y'all were that close. Y'all were just like her. Y'all were that close that all y'all had to do was fast and do everything she was saying do every day, and y'all got y'all spouse. That's how close y'all was. Some of y'all were not close at all. But all you had to do was do everything she was saying intentionally, and you could have transformed yourself and you would have still got your spouse. The fact that you want God to send you some the way that you are, who are you? Why would he? Lawlessness, coming up against God's ways, his commandments, his laws. So God gave me the wave, riding the wave, trying God in my finances. He said, I want you to sow every day, and every day I'm gonna show you what I'm finna do. See, this was a prophecy God gave to me, for me. And because I'm a real prophet, whoever obeyed the instructions of what I was doing, this is why I was an example every day, that I'm not telling you to sow and I'm not sowing too. I sow too. It was times I came on live and I sold everything that was in my account and let y'all saw what was in my account and emptied out the whole account. And that's because it's time out for people telling us what they gonna do. We need to see that people doing it. We need some doers. So God will say, let them see you sow it today. And everything that will come in, I will empty it out my account. I didn't get here because I cheated. I didn't get here because I connected to somebody who had a mega ministry. I got here because I went through the process and did what God told me to do. And I shared it with you all. I allowed you all to see my own process that God was taking me through. And God said, those who have eyes to see and ears to hear were going to see God. And they was going to reap my benefit, because that's what happens to a prophet's reward. The person reaps the benefit of the prophet. The real prophet, that's if they're a real prophet. There's no way you following the prophet and they have this, but you can't get it. There's no way you're walking with a prophet and God has did this for them, but he can't do it for you. He said you reap a prophet's reward. That's if they really a prophet. See, this is another sign for you to have discernment. Are you getting what the leader is getting? Are you seeing miraculous things happen? Because that's what God is doing for the leader. It's called a prophet's reward. Come on now, make it make sense. This is why we share testimonies, because God just ain't blessing Dr. D. He blessing her whole ministry. Everybody going through the same thing. Everybody standing, everybody waiting, everybody trusting God, everybody having faith. If you don't get it, baby, you ain't gonna get it. The gate is narrow for a reason. Because a whole lot of people gonna go the wrong way, because when it don't happen how they want it to happen, they gonna say it ain't God. They gonna say it's fake. They gonna say it's a scam. And you gotta be okay that you the only one hearing God and seeing God. You gotta be okay when you walking by yourself, when other people don't understand it. You gotta be okay that even though people seen God perform miracle signs and wonders in their life, they still gonna get off the train, because they ain't gonna be able to get what they want, when they want it, and how they want it. Selfish, inconsiderate, and they think this journey is about them. It's God's will, not yours. So God entrusted her with something to do with the nation, to help the brides come forth, to give them their spouses. Many of you all saw this manifest for you all. And I'm just listening to the people who's speaking up against her, who about to fall. She said a great fall was about to happen. She probably didn't know how that fall was going to happen. She probably didn't know that God was finna send me to release the fall. That's why I'm explaining. I got to give insight and clarity. I got to give revelation and tell you how the fall is about to happen. It's finna happen because the people coming up against God's chosen people, because they lack discernment and don't understand what a prophet reward means. You got your spouse because she got hers. And that's if you did what she told you to do. You got to obey the prophet's instructions, God's instructions through the prophet. That's how you discern a real prophet. Did anybody get their spouse? Did anybody see miracle signs and wonders while being on the wave? Has anybody gotten wealthy while money coming to us now from Leroy Thompson? See, God don't give this to everybody. Only a select few God can trust with stuff like this. He entrusted her for the brides to come forth. Remember, Jesus comes back for the bride. She was putting everybody in position for the bride to come back. For Jesus to come back for the bride. For you to get everything from bringing heaven on earth. Don't get mad at her because you missed it. Don't get mad at her because it wasn't your time. Don't get mad at her because you didn't put in the footwork, the groundwork. Don't get mad at her because you didn't obey all the instructions. Don't get mad at her when she was telling you to forgive and let go. You didn't want to. You kept holding on to it. So again, many were called, but few were chosen. I was chosen. I was chosen to do the wave. And God said, be okay that you're the only one hearing God. Be okay, because this your Gideon season. That it ain't going to be no lot of people, but watch what I do with little. And that's what some of us got to understand. We got to be okay when we ain't got that many followers. We got to be okay when we got to cut some people off because they heart ain't right. Some of y'all want to hold on to all these followers. Y'all don't want to push them away. But baby, it was never for you to hold their hand. It's for God to wait on them, not you. Some of these people need to get up out of y'all ministries, out of y'all businesses, y'all churches. When y'all sitting up here letting snakes, locusts, cankerworms, leeches, cankerworms sit around y'all just to say y'all got a ministry, just to say you got 2,000 people following you. If you don't get them people up out y'all ministries and block them and let them go, baby, it was never for you to wait on them. It's for God to wait on them. This is where y'all falling short at. Y'all don't want to let people go feeling like y'all pushing them out. Baby, I put people out almost every day in my ministry. And God keeps exalting me because you're going to have to keep separating the wheat from the tare. You're going to have to keep pruning the rose bush. Separation is needed for growth. Some people can't go with you because they're not mature enough, and you got to be okay that even though it was 2,000 that started with you, that you're going to end up with maybe 3, with maybe 300, with maybe 3,000. See, this Gideon, baby. Don't forget. See, everybody quoting scriptures, but everybody forgetting Gideon. When y'all gonna start acting out the Gideon story? Because y'all act like y'all scared to cut people off and let them go. And then when they get mad, they want to do videos about you talking about she did this and he did that. And so who cares? Why did you stay? Why did you stay? Don't talk about me now. You sound like a hidden snake, a friendly snake, somebody who was looking to leech off of me. And that's why God didn't take you higher. That's why you didn't get your spouse. That's why you didn't get your wealth. That's why your miracle sign and wonder never came, because your heart wasn't right. See, God saw how you was thinking behind her back, behind his back. He see the plan, plot, and schemes of the enemy. That's why some of y'all not going to go too far, because your heart ain't right. Lawlessness. Let me read it one more time and I'm going to get on off of this. This was happening across the land. It's not just the deportation. It's not just them, busting in windows and setting stuff on fire and burning the American flag. Ain't that funny that they burning the American flag, but they want to stay over here? Who going to let somebody stay over here and disrespect their flag? Baby, go over there where your flag is. Go back home. That's what he trying to do. He trying to send them back home. Why y'all mad? People burning y'all flags. Y'all don't care. Y'all don't care that somebody came and burnt your house up. And then they went back into the house next door. And that's just an example. They burning up the USA flag Because they claim they don't want to leave. But why you burning up the flag, baby? It sounds like you do want to leave. You need to go back home. You causing lawlessness upon the earth. A state of being without or in violation of God's laws and commandments, often associated with sin and rebellion against divine authority. Some of y'all coming up against the authority of God, and don't even know it because you're trying to get clicks and licks and shares and likes and whatever else. You want to exalt yourself. Did you know you sitting up there trying to get clicks and likes and shares all day? That's you exalting yourself. That ain't God exalting you. See, God exalted Gideon. He showed him that you had 232,000. Let me show you what I can do with little, with 300. See, you can't even discern when God exalts you versus the person exalting themselves. Y'all think everybody with all the followers, with all the people in their ministries, y'all think God unexalted them people. Half of them people exalted themselves. They make themselves look good and sound good. God ain't sent nobody over there. Everybody just following the crowd because everybody over there. Let me go. It's 500,000 people over there. I want to go with them. Let me go. No, God said he said the road was narrow. I mean, a lot of people can't fit. They can't go. So why the hell y'all think God where everybody at? He where that many people ain't there. But see, this comes with discernment. That's why I watch people who be prophesying. I watch people who be speaking in tongues. I watch people who quote the Bible. That's all they know. Like, now, baby, I need to hear some revelation. I need to hear something God has told you outside of that Bible, because I have discernment. I have mastered divinity, the divine, walking with God, revelation. While you still sitting in elementary reading the Bible, there's books that are way beyond the Bible. There's a point of your process where you sit with God and he takes you deeper into places that you can't read or see. You have to do it by faith. I'm questioning all of you people. I'm questioning, do you know God outside of a book? Outside of what you can see? Outside of what you can read, what you know? I'm questioning you. Because everybody chasing stuff, but they don't know what they chasing. Remember, God exalts you, not you. That means he sits you on high. He takes you to the place, not by your might and power. And if you getting up every day posting content all day, that's your might and power. That's your might and power. That you reaping the benefits from from what you're doing with your hands. That ain't God. See, God do miraculous. He perform miracles. He make impossible things possible. He make unbelievable things believable, such as, how can this lady with barely 5 people in her ministry be in $1 million house? With bad credit, repossessed cars. He performed miracles just like he said he do. Baby, you laboring for those people that's following you. You laboring for those people to be pushing your content like that. Baby, you post so much content all day, baby. That ain't God. That's you exalting yourself. You trying to take yourself to a place. And gonna fumble the ball. Because you don't understand God's process. So you all have an amazing day. God is good. And I just wanted to come and release this word. Because remember, the prophet released, there's about to be a great fall. And you all thought she was lying, but you're about to see it. Just as well as I open my mouth and release from my mouth, watch what God do. All is well. Bye.